Hey guys, Brooke and Laura here for Legal Talk Tuesday, and we are both not 100% with it today. We had a meeting in Portland, Oregon this last week, and took some time after that, and so we were just now getting back late last night. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're not necessarily going to specifically talk about any one area of law, but we wanted to kind of share with you some things that we've implemented into our lives, self-care and slowing down a little bit, because I think a lot of us suffer from the disease of busyness, and we think that we have to be immediate and responsive and do things right then and take care of things. At least Laura and I have that problem. Maybe it's a control problem we have, we don't know. But in our world, we have that issue. So we just want to talk a little bit about that and share with you some things that we've done and talk a little bit about our fun weekend, because it was a big bucket list item for me. So I'll let Laura kind of take it away from here.
Perfect. Yeah, we, like Brooke said, we got back late last night. So we thought that in order for you guys to see our faces today, we wanted to talk a little bit about kind of what's important to us and what we took a little time to do this weekend as well. Like Brooke said, we were in Portland for a meeting, and it's, anytime anybody's ever gone to a meeting that's kind of a national or divisional or regional or whatever it might be, even if it's just a meeting in your office, it can be really taxing mentally because you're focused and you're paying attention and you're engaged. And for us, that was kind of an all-day thing, all day, Wednesday night, all day Thursday, all day Friday, Saturday morning for Brooke. And so we decided before we even, when we were booking our trip, we decided that we were going to take some time to do some fun things in Oregon, since neither one of us had ever been. And so, we took some time to do some things that Brooke's going to talk about with her bucket list that she had, but it included just some downtime and some fun things and that kind of stuff. I think that if any of you out there travel for work, it's very important to whatever you can do in order to, take that time to take care of yourself. We hear a lot of phrases, a lot of times, things like self-care and that kind of thing. I was one of those people about 5 or 6 years ago that didn't really understand what that meant, and didn't really understand how important it was until I had some medical issues in 2015 and realized that paying attention to yourself and what your body and mind are telling you are super important. For us, we had the opportunity to spend a weekend in Oregon playing, even if it's you taking a bath at night for an hour with a book or a glass of wine or a great podcast, whatever it might be, taking that time to take care of yourself and recharge, also listening to your body and your mind and paying attention. I know, some of you are single mothers, single fathers. It's a very difficult thing to carve out time for yourself, but it's one of the most important things that you can do, because if you're not healthy physically and mentally, then, how are you going to be there for the other people in your life, whether that's your children, your spouse, whatever it might be. So you've got to figure out something to do on a regular basis, and maybe some treats every once in a while that will help you with that recharge time, taking care of yourself, making sure that you're paying attention to what you need and not what everybody else needs.
Right. I like that you mentioned too, like long-term, not short-term things, because I think a lot of times when we talk about self-care, it is just treat yourself to some chocolates, go hide in your bedroom away from your children for an hour and watch a TV show. So, I mean, that's great. And those are definitely, like you called them, I guess, indulgences. Maybe you didn't use that word, but those types of things are very important, because I feel like you can remember to do those a little bit more easily. Like, oh, okay, let me do this or implement this. I think the harder things to do are the long-term self-care. And I think that's super important to have, your own identity. Make sure that you are grounded in yourself and know who you are, what you want to do, and do those things. Whether that's getting into some kind of an exercise routine, going to participate in some kind of class or activity or hobby that you want to participate in, that you enjoy, things that are not just a one and done situation. So I like that you kind of differentiate it, because both of them are equally important. It's important, ladies, maybe go get your nails done occasionally, and then also implement an exercise routine. So that way you are doing something for your body on an ongoing basis. And the same thing for your mind. Laura and I were talking right before we came on about some podcasts that we listen to. So we really take a holistic approach as far as self-care. It's not necessarily neglecting others, but it is difficult sometimes, like we talked about a minute ago, to not be immediate or to not, okay, somebody needs this, I've got to get on it right then. It's slowing down a little bit. And even though we are implementing some of these things, last night on the plane ride home, we were both like, yeah, we need to slow down a little bit, but we had just come back from slowing down a little bit. But it makes us appreciate, hey, that was nice. We need that. We need that to recharge. So we're better for ourselves, better for our families, better for you guys. And so this weekend, I'm super excited because we happened to be in Oregon, like Laura said, in Portland. And I have always wanted to go to this town that turns itself into Halloween Town every year in October, because it's where the Disney movie Halloween Town was actually filmed. And so whenever we found out that that's where our meeting was, I Googled and it was only 40 minutes away. So Laura is wonderful and she indulged me and she also had a good time. But so we left after the meeting and spent a couple of days in Halloween Town, and I nerded out real hard and teared up a little when I saw the scene where most of the film was made. So we did that, and then we also decided, well, we're in Oregon, so we're going to have to go to the Goonies Rock, because you can't go to Oregon and not go to the coast and go to the Goonies Rock. So that was a little bit further of a drive, but we went out there and had a really good time at Haystack Rock in Cannon Beach. And then met some interesting people along the way and had a terrifying drive back, because it's really, if you've ever been to Oregon, it's really curvy and it was really dark and we had to rent a car and I didn't bring my glasses and I cannot drive at night without glasses. So Laura drove and that was a terrifying experience for both of us. But, and a really long drive.
Not because I was driving, it was just. I will say I'm probably less cautious than Brooke is.
It was a little bit deliverance-y out there, but so we did that. But it's stuff like that. Normally I am like, okay, what time do I need to get back home? I've got the kids and I've got to do all this stuff. So my meeting starts here. What's the first flight out? So we actually took a little bit of time, took that opportunity to go do some of these things. My kids arrived; they were just fine. I did get home to a stack of things to sign, and we were up to like midnight because they were waiting for me to sign them. I was like, your dad can sign those, but apparently they floated it till I got home in their works. But so I had to sign that stuff when I got home, and they were excited to tell me all their news. So it's all fine. I got them to school. Everybody's fine. Laura and I are finally catching up. But so yeah, that was one thing that we did, was take some time to explore, and we're actually doing that in a couple of weeks. We have a conference that we're going to, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add a couple of days that weekend before to spend some time doing some things that we like and looking around and slowing down a bit.
Yeah. And it's just kind of one of those things that we all really need to be aware of. We live in a very fast-paced world, no matter what your job is, no matter what your home life situation is. It's just a very fast-paced world. We are connected to our phones all the time. We're connected to the internet, to the TV, whatever it might be. And recognizing that you need to take some internal time, whether that is literally just internal at home, whether that is your exercise programs, whether that's tacking a couple of days on at the end of a work trip like we did. It's just super important for you to stay kind of grounded in yourself, and so that you can be the best that you can be. And so we just wanted to take this opportunity, since we just did it ourselves, to let you know that we're thinking of you, and we hope that you're having an amazing start to your October. This is our first call for October, and we brought the Oregon weather back with us a little bit, so you're welcome. And it's nice. I've got my doors open today, enjoying the nice air outside, and we hope you have a fabulous week. And we'll be here next week at 11:30 a.m. on Tuesday for another Legal Talk Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks so much.